Welcome back to Seeing Life from a Different Angle. I thought today that I would read from and comment on a segment of a letter, or a segment of a writing, I should say, an essay from C.S. Lewis. And it's called Can't You Lead a Good Life Without Believing in Christianity? It is from the book C.S. Lewis, Readings for Meditation and Reflection, edited by Walter Hooper. Excuse me. Can't you lead a good life without believing in Christianity? This is a question on which I have been asked to write, and straight away, before I begin trying to answer it, I have a comment to make. The question sounds as if it were asked by a person who said to himself, I don't care whether Christianity is in fact true or not. I'm not interested in finding out whether the real universe is more like what the Christians say than what the materialists say. All I'm interested in is leading a good life. I'm going to choose beliefs not because I think them true, but because I find them helpful. Now, frankly, I find it hard to sympathize with this state of mind. One of the things that distinguishes man from the other animals is that he wants to know things, wants to find out what reality is like, simply for the sake of knowing. When that desire is completely quenched in anyone, I think he has become something less than human. As a matter of fact, I can't believe any of you really have lost that desire. Or probably, foolish preachers, by always telling you how much Christianity will help you and how good it is for society, have actually led you to forget that Christianity is not a patent medicine. Christianity claims to give an account of facts, to tell you what the real universe is like. Its account of the universe may be true, or it may be not. And once the question is really before you, then your natural inquisitiveness must make you want to know the answer. If Christianity is untrue, then no honest man will want to believe it, however helpful it might be. If it is true, every honest man will want to believe it, even if it gives him no help at all. Now, it's a fascinating quote, and I apologize for the flub-ups, but I think about all the individuals that I have met throughout my life who have said, I just want to be a good person. I just want to be a kind and caring person. That's all that really matters. I don't need to go to church. I don't need to have a belief in Christ in order to do that. And I think so much of that is really driven out of something that we have explored before, and I think worth exploring 1,000 times over, if not just here but elsewhere, is the role of fear in our lives. How much is fear taking us over to the degree where we say, I'm going to avoid all of these different types of things in order to allay the fear inside of me. We cannot forget at the core that in order for us to survive psychologically, our ego had to develop. And it had to develop based upon the fact that we were kind of drawn away from a world that was full of love and connection and forced into a world that is where we live, the reality, the myopic reality of life. And so, that life, that world is full of fear. It is full of dangers and concerns and sufferings and loss and abandonment. And I think, therefore, what we end up doing is in developing our ego, which is designed to help us and protect us, to maintain that sense of self, what ends up happening is, that ego is something driven by fear because it fears tension, it fears loss. And so, therefore, we will cling to anything that will say to us, okay, well, this works well for me. This is good. I don't need anything more than this. And I think that's what Lewis is talking about when he's challenging those individuals and saying that they're really less than human. I think he's challenging those individuals who say, I don't have to question anything. I'm just going to be good. I'm going to lead a good life. And as long as it benefits me, more often than not, in the famous religion of me, as long as it benefits me, then I'll be fine because I'll be leading a good life and I'll be a good person. But I think that there's laziness in that notion. And it's a laziness that leads towards or leans itself towards an acceptance of fear instead of challenging us to find something more, to do something more, to be something more. And I think what that something more is to be the type of individuals that we were designed to be, which is those who connect with other people, those who are there for others, nurture others, and engage with other people. C.S. Lewis talked about in his book, The Four Loves, he talked about 4 different loves. And the highest level of love is agape, or agape as he put it. And agape is that loving, unconditional relationship with God. And the step down from that, and I picture this as kind of a step down process. The step down from that is eros, which is a romantic and slash sexual love, where we engage with other people in a romantic sort of way, in partnership. A step down from that is philia, which is the love of our friends, and those relationships that we have with our friends and the engagements that we have with them. And finally, the last step is the step of storge, which is the love of our family. Now, not that that's less than in its own way, but it is a stepwise process. We love our families, then we move toward our friends, and we move toward relationships. But I would challenge this notion is that I think we start at the top step and we fall down these steps. We fall down more often than not to the very bottom landing, which is aloneness. And in that place of aloneness, which is more often than not where we are kind of dragged to, we learn to find artificial pleasures to ease our minds, to make life more satisfying, for want of a better way to put it. But just like the very notion I heard someone say, and I think wisely put, that satisfaction is like saying everything's okay. I'm satisfied with this, I'm satisfied with that. But it doesn't say it nourishes me. It doesn't say it quenches my thirst. It doesn't say that it gratifies me. What it says is it's okay. It's nice. But we're down at this bottom place, this landing, and we look up and there is the love of our family, storge. There is philia, the love of our friends. There is eros, the love of, in a romantic sort of way. And then there is agape, the love of God. And if we just say to ourselves, okay, I'm fine on this landing, as long as I'm got what it is I need and I don't do harm to other people, everything will be fine. I'm good. I'll still have relationships. I'll still engage with other people. It doesn't mean love's involved. It just simply means this is a part of human relationships, that we just interact with other people. In the end, maybe I'll grow to love them, maybe I won't, but ultimately I just have these interactions with other people. And the sad truth of it is, in that place, we've accepted that bottom layer, and that's why Lewis says, we are less than human. If we just say to ourselves, okay, I'm fine with the landing. I don't need to climb these stairs. I don't need to have love in my life. I don't need to have friendships. I don't need to really love my family, my friends, romantic love, or God. And I think that that's where we fall apart. And Christianity is that top step that says, if I'm going to engage with other people, let me do so in a way that is not making sure I don't harm them, but indeed making sure that I do good by them. And I think that that's key. Agape is about giving without any expectation of getting anything in return. It is about loving without the expectation of being loved in return. And so I think when we think about what it is that Lewis had said, do we need to be, do we need to live life as Christians, or do we need to live life as materialists? That's your choice. The question is, what step do you want to be on? Are you okay with being at the bottom, at the landing of aloneness? Or do you want something greater? Choice is yours. Peace be with you.